Hawaiian Punch. Sure.
This is where the food industry learns how to sell food to children.
Who else likes chips? Who else eats chips as a snack?
These children are part of a paid focus group at C&R Research in Chicago.
If I eat this, I will feel how, because why?
These researchers are trying to learn what makes kids want certain foods.
Okay, and did you try the colored ketchup?
No.
You didn't try it? Why not?
It looked disgusting.
Okay.
And on the other side of the one-way mirror, the researchers are gathering data that will help food companies tailor their advertising to children.
Children are more susceptible to marketing than adults are because they don't understand the intent of marketing. They don't understand that a marketer may exaggerate claims or isn't completely truthful, or that someone is trying to sell them something.
Study after study shows that younger children simply do not understand what advertising is all about, that young children cannot comprehend how advertising is manipulating them.
Children cannot be expected to exercise critical thinking or personal responsibility about food choice until they're quite a bit older. The exact age is a matter of some research debate, but 8-year-olds certainly fall below it.
Do you think it is fair or even ethical to advertise to children below 7?
I'm not sure what the cut point is ethics, but one of the amusing aspects in my current professional life is I get calls from very high-level executives of very, very large food companies asking me questions like, what do you suppose the cut point should be to marketing to children? Do you think it's okay to market to 18-year-olds? What about 15-year-olds? What about 12-year-olds? They know they're doing something wrong. They know they are.
What do you think is an appropriate age to begin advertising to a child?
In our judgment, we think, 6 is a better place to draw the line. We think kids are a little bit more mature then. They're in school, they're out in the world, they're beginning to experience things beyond the home, and they have a little bit more judgment.
Do you foresee a possibility in the future that you might not advertise to children who are under 8 or 10?
This is a topic that society is going to continue to debate. And, I don't think the last chapter has been written on this book.
Kraft cheese and macaroni!
Kraft seems to know that they're under some pressure. They say they won't intentionally design ads for children under 6, and they have recently stopped advertising in schools. Other than that, in America, kids are fair game.
Honey sweet crunchy crave.
But not everywhere else. Italy prohibits all ads on cartoon shows. Australia doesn't allow advertising during television programs for preschoolers. Norway and Sweden prohibit all television advertising to children under 12. In the U.S., there are no laws whatsoever prohibiting the food companies from advertising any food to children of any age. The companies and the advertisers like it this way.
Has it ever occurred to you that children should be protected by the government from certain food advertising?
It has occurred to me, and I think it would be a very dangerous precedent. In a free society, in a commercial society, where we advertise legal products to various consumers, advertising legal products to kids in a responsible and ethical way should definitely be permitted.
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
Of course, you cannot advertise cigarettes on television anymore. The government does try to protect children from cigarettes. And some years ago, one government agency did try to protect children from food advertising. In the late 1970s, the Federal Trade Commission began investigating the marketing of unhealthy foods to children. Michael Perchuk was chairman at the time.
We certainly made a judgment that advertising to young children was unfair. Within the meaning of the law, was unfair because children don't have the capacity to deal with it.
Breakfast for everyone.
The Federal Trade Commission made a couple of stunning proposals. Either ban ads for sugar-coated foods to children under 11, or ban all television advertising to children under 8.
I was convinced then, and I'm convinced to this day, that our case was sound on the facts, the impact of advertising on children and the health of children, and that it was sound in the law.
I think this is absolutely stupid to come in here and ask that we now give to the FTC unlimited jurisdiction.
What we're trying to do is to say to the FTC, stop it.
In no time, the FTC was under attack.
The huge mistake was not to gauge the political impact, and especially the power of the food lobby, the broadcasting lobby, and their friends in Congress.
It got really ugly. There were even threats to shut down the FTC.
We could ensure that not only the staff members no longer there, but the commission members themselves are no longer there.
So the FTC had its head handed to it by Congress. And legislators and the Federal Trade Commission remember that. And for the last almost 25 years, there's been essentially no talk about limiting junk food or other advertising aimed at children.
25 years. And since then, according to the Surgeon General, obesity among children and adults has become the most pressing public health issue in the nation.
Clearly, when you look at the consequences of the public health crisis we have today, government has got to step in. It's no different than tobacco was 20 or 30 years ago. We told people don't smoke. But until we really started to get serious about it and make changes, look at the escalation of health care costs associated with tobacco smoking. The exact same thing is happening now in terms of food choices.
So will government step in?
You, in fact, sir, said at one point you would give awards to people who behaved better in the food industry.
That is correct.
What happens if they don't behave better? Then what are you going to do?
Once you start giving out awards for a particular company, particular fast food industry, recipient, or a soft drink, I think the other ones are going to say, you know, I want the award next time and I'm going to do more to get it. I think it's much better to be on the positive side than the negative side.
The Bush administration urges Americans to exercise more and eat healthier. But there is no sign that government will obligate the food industry to change how they make and market food. And no sign whatsoever that government will try to change agricultural policies so as to benefit the public health. We know there is no easy solution to the growing obesity epidemic. Most of us do need to eat better and exercise more, and what adults eat is ultimately a personal decision. But there's no reason for government to encourage the production and the consumption of so much food that we should be eating less. And clearly there should be a public debate about advertising junk food to children. That'll be a difficult issue for the food industry and for the television industry, including ABC. As we made this program, we often thought about how long it took before government recognized that smoking was a public health issue, and now it's obesity. Just think of the money it is costing the country. So how long will it take government to act? I'm Peter Jennings. Thank you and good night.